Writing in APA format. This slideshow presentation was done for the Technology Fellow Institute project for summer of 2011. This is the APA Manual 6th edition and can be found in the Nevada State College bookstore. We will now go through the contents of an APA paper. Each APA paper will have a title page centered between the left and right margins and including a running head, title of the paper, author's name, course, instructor, and date. A running head is an abbreviated title that is printed at the top of the pages. It has a maximum of 50 characters, counting letters, punctuation, and spaces. It should appear flush, left, in all uppercase letters at the top of the title page and each page after. The abstract is a summary of the paper to be about 150 to 250 words. Identify the abstract with the title Abstract at the top of the page, typed in a single paragraph without paragraph indentations and double-spaced. The text of the paper starts on page 3. Indent the first line of each paragraph. Use 1-inch margins on all sides. Use a 12-point font Times New Roman or a similar font. Be sure to insert page numbers. To review, parts of the APA paper will have a title page, an abstract, the text of the paper, and a reference page. All sources are to be cited. If you are paraphrasing, summarizing a passage, or rearranging the order of someone else's words, you need to give credit to that source. A source cited in the text of the paper needs to be on the reference page. The exception to this are references from classical works such as the Bible. All references on the reference page need to be cited in the text of the paper. If the name of the author appears as part of the narrative, as in the first example, cite only the year of the publication in parentheses. Otherwise, place both the name and the year separated by a comma in parentheses. When the work has 2 authors, cite both names every time the reference occurs in the text. When the work has 3, 4, or 5 authors, cite all authors the first time the reference occurs. In subsequent citations, include only the surname of the first author followed by et al. If the work has 6 or more authors, cite only the surname of the first author followed by et al. On page 177, you can see examples of citing multiple authors. Here is an example of citing 1 author in the text of your paper, 2 authors, and a specific page of a book in the text of the paper. Start the references on a new page with the word references at the top. References are to be in alphabetical order, not numbered, with the second line of each reference indented. Cite the author by last name and initials. Here are some examples of citing references on a reference page. Here are other examples. If you are using a personal communication as a source, such as if you were doing an interview, personal communications do not need to be on the reference page. Here are examples of citing articles with DOI numbers. DOI numbers are an alphanumeric string of numbers assigned by a registration agency to identify the article and give a persistent link to its location on the Internet. Here is an example of citing an article without a DOI number but using the URL. Here is an example of citing an ebook and a chapter of an ebook. The references for this slide presentation came from the APA Manual 6th edition. There is a short quiz covering the information presented in this slide presentation. Email the answers to me as soon as possible. No papers or discussions will be graded without first receiving the answers to this short quiz. This concludes the presentation of writing in APA format.